Hi, all. So I wanted to come in and show you how we're going to be running discussions differently this year. So down here, you're going to see this is where I'll link the video, new process. And essentially, we're not using the VLE discussion board. Um, I found I did it with Google Docs last year for a couple discussions, and students just did a way better job. So I've decided to do it that way this year. So when you see this sign, so you'll see the little discussion sign that's referring to up here, and then you'll get a title of the discussion that you're supposed to do. So you just look for that. In this case, it's social media blunders. The other example for the first task of the discussions that you need to do is you also need to do the introduction. So I'll open up both of those and we'll come back to it. So you're going to see that in your overview help page that I explained in the overview video, but you're also going to see those same symbols where they apply in the content page. So this is the same social media discussion and the same introduction. So you need to go through this content part before you take part in the discussion that's about it. So the two things relate together. So for activity one, which is right here. So, one, how does media impact me? We've got two discussions. So, let's look at the first one first. So, the criteria is always up at the front, at the top end. So, this is what I'm expecting of you. So, did you make your own thread? So, your own post. And in that, did you do the following things? So, you have to introduce yourself to your peer in this one and your teacher, share what media you use the most in your life, you explain how you would address the lack of verbal cues in an online space. So, what does that, where's that information sort of coming from? It's what you've reviewed here. Okay. So, that's why the content matters for the discussions. So, you're going to review some of that. You're going to answer the question, how can we read strangers online? And you're going to respond to another student. And then it's also important that you do these two things. So, one, accept responsibility. You're in charge of your own behavior. Keep in mind, sometimes when you write things down in an email, tone can be misconstrued a little bit. So, just, kind of watch your wording and just maybe make it a little bit more formal uh, than you might do if you were speaking to somebody directly and not through text. Then make sure that you listened, acknowledge, and respected different ideas, opinions, and values. So, not everybody's going to have the same opinions as you, and that's okay. It's about figuring out how to respond to somebody if you maybe disagree with them. Uh, but do it in a way that's, sort of a positive response still. You can still disagree with people without being rude in your response, right? So these are the two videos that are linked over in this content page. Oops, where'd it go? Right here. So it's just the same video links here. Uh, the review of what you're supposed to answer. And then down below, you're going to see this is an example of a good post that somebody did previously for this. So I just made up a fake name, but this post is actually a real post that somebody made. And that's how they did their response. So then when you're ready, you're going to write your post and then da 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 and make sure that you've answered all of the pieces above. So you might, some people find it easier to copy and paste the questions in, and then just so that you answer everything, and then you can delete those out after, or some people leave them bolded down below, so you can write your response down below that if you like. um, it would probably be better, let's try something, if you pasted without the formatting, then you don't get all those bulleted pieces in your response, so you could then come down below and answer da 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 da. down below each part. And if you want, just for space, you could delete that part of your post out after. So it's up to you. A lot of people like um, copying and pasting just so that they don't miss any parts. So you would write your post there. It'll automatically update on the Google Doc. The next person who comes in, we'll put Izzy, my daughter, uh, would write their post down below, and it'd be Izzy's post, right? So I might choose that I want to reply to Abigail. So I could click on anywhere in her post and then hit the comment button. Oops, sorry, I'm lying. It's changed a little. So you could then add a comment. Hi, Abigail. Um, I agree with, something that she wrote in her post that I agree with, um, to sort of extend and reply on what she's got there. So that's how you can make your post as a reply to somebody else. I would just say somebody else has already highlighted the part that you want to. You could just grab on below and write below. Or if there are previous comments, you can comment on a comment that's already there. So that's how you'll reply to somebody else. So that part of the discussion, and your main response is going to be here. And in every single one of them, I've given you an example, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went through. And if I haven't done that in all of them, I'll do it here. So this example, we'll just put Bailey Stewart. We're just making up a name. Um, and this is an example post that a previous student had made. So you can have a look at the next person's. You can look at what the criteria is. You've got the questions that you need to answer, and you can write your name down below and get started on your post. Okay, so that's how the discussions are going to run. And for each of the videos, I'll do a new instructional video for each individual discussion as well. But this is just a general overview of how things are going to be a little bit different uh, this semester. I was just turning over in my brain whether it was a semester, a quadmester, an octomester, but I guess we're just back to our regular old semesters. So that's how our discussions are run, and these are all of them for the whole course. But again, don't start them until you see them actually come up in the content area or your help page, so that you know the content pieces that I'm actually asking you uh, to look at.